Okay, so I'm going to look at 3 different ways to record audio into the MPC. First, you'll have to connect your external device to the MPC. I'm using a Korg Kronos. Here I'm on track 31. My MIDI program is 001. My MIDI port is MPC-A and my MIDI channel is 1. So I plugged my keyboard into 3 and 4 in the back of the MPC, which is my cables there. Here is my level knob where I could adjust the gain more or less as I need it. In the front of the MPC, there are 2 instrument jacks where you could plug in maybe a guitar or a bass, and also record audio as well. Let's look at the audio page. This is one way you could record audio. I'm going to go back to the MIDI track, and if I play it, you won't hear anything. And that's because you have to set your input signal. So I'll pull up the grid and show you MIDI notes of a part that I played. And we'll use this part to record. So again, I'm using a Korg Kronos, and these are the MIDI parts that I played. Let's take a look at the audio page. Here's audio track 1. I like to name everything, so we'll just call this EP pad. Now we go to input config, and it's set to 1 and 2, but we have to change it to 3 and 4. And we also have to select the input monitor. Now when I play the keyboard in playback, we should hear it. Here is the MIDI parts playing the Korg Kronos. Now that we have our audio set, let's go into Edit Audio. Okay, let's record. And let's make sure that the record button is enabled. Now we are ready to record. Now let's go back to the MIDI track and mute the MIDI track because it's playing over top of the recorded audio. Now we go back to the audio track, edit audio, and now we can play the recorded audio. In order to hear the playback for this track, I'm going to change the monitor input to auto, or you could turn it off. Okay, so you could do edits here. I heard someone say you couldn't do much, but there are some things you could do. You could warp. You could change the pitch. Let's play with the pitch. You could also change the BPM. Warp is already selected, so let's play with the tempo. We're set at 100, so let's go up 10. And 120. You get the idea. Okay, even though we recorded the audio in the audio page, we could use the audio in other places. Let's see, main and MIDI. Let's find a track I want to go to. Let's go with key. And if we go to browse, there's your audio in your sample pool. Let's see, you could play it. Right in your sample pool, you could play it. You can assign it to a pad. So here's your audio in Program Edit. You could do many things with it in Program Edit. And you could also have it in Sample Edit. And it's many things you could do with your audio in Sample Edit. Like if you want to chop up your sample, you could chop it up here. Let's look at Program Edit again. There's a ton of options here. One of the many things you could do here is things like reverse a sample. You could reverse it there, and you could also reverse your sample in the audio page as well. So again, we recorded this audio on an audio track, which is one of the few ways that you could record audio. Let's look at another way to record. Let's record into Sampler. So we have to set everything. We have to set the input monitor and the channel inputs. If we play it, we hear nothing. So we go to our channels and select 3 and 4, which is set on the MPC. And we also have to select our input monitor. You could see it, but you don't hear it because you have to select it. Here is your threshold. If you set it, it'll wait for a signal to start recording. Okay, let's stop it. Now you could assign it to a program and give it a name. Let's assign it to Pad 1 and give it a name. I'll call it Play Sample. And from this window, you could play it, you could discard, you could keep, or you could edit. Let's play it. And again, I want it assigned to Pad 1. Let's keep it. Go Main. And let's go to my key track. And there it is on Pad 1. And now I want to look at the looper, which is another way to record. If we hold Shift and press looper, here is our looper page. Again, we have to set everything, our input monitor and our input channels, which is 3 and 4. The looper has a play and overdub. We're just going to play and set our bars to 8 bars. Once we hit record, it'll start recording into the looper. The looper is a nice feature. If we were an overdub, we could keep adding to the sample with more sounds. Okay, so now the MIDI keyboard is playing over top of the sample because we already have it recorded. We could reverse this, and the next time around, you'll hear the reverse sample play along with the MIDI keyboard. You could really come up with nice sounds with the looper. So now we could export this. If we hit export, we see new looper sample. Assign it to a program, which I have, pad 2. Okay, and we'll keep that name. And we could play it from this window as well. Okay, and let's keep it. I'm going to go back over to Program Edit. And we can see the one we had from before. And here's the new one. New looper sample. Okay, so I just showed you 3 different ways to record audio inside the MPC. And we still have what we started with, which is audio on the audio track, which is muted, but this is what we started with, recording audio to an audio track. And if we jump over to our sample pool, we could see the different samples. And here we have all 3, EP pad, new looper sample, play sample. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys 3 different ways to record audio inside the MPC. I was pretty shocked to hear Jermaine Dupri say he couldn't find a video on how to record audio to an audio track, or the looper, or the sampler inside of the MPC. So I thought I would just give this a shot and show you guys how I recorded my Korg Kronos inside of the MPC X SE. And yeah, so you know the drill. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Keep me inspired to make these videos, guys.